This is the PUJH dual motors electric bike, and it's the most aggressive e-bike I've ridden this year. I put real miles on it across pavement, gravel, and a steep fire road I usually reserve for mid-drive bruisers. Key features that stood out to me right away are the dual hub motors with a claimed 3,000-watt peak, a 52-volt 25-amp-hour removable battery, 24x4.0 fat tires, hydraulic disc brakes, a full suspension layout with a rear shock and seat springs, a color display, twist throttle, and a 7-speed drivetrain. In my opinion, this is a power-first machine that flirts with light electric motorcycle territory, and that shapes everything about the ride. The look is loud and purposeful. The frame lines are chunky, the welding is clean, and the 24-inch fat tires fill out the stance in a way that makes 26-inch bikes look almost ordinary. The cockpit feels wide and sturdy, with a clear color screen and a cluster of controls that includes a switch for single dual motor, pedal assist levels, lights, and turn signals. The twist throttle has a short, predictable throw. The levers for the hydraulic brakes feel solid with a firm bite point and minimal flex. The saddle has extra cushioning and a little give thanks to the springs, and I could feel the rear shock take a set when I settled in. It's heavy, listed around 85 pounds, and you feel every pound when you lift the front to mount a wheel or move it in a tight garage. Once rolling, that weight turns into a planted, stable feel. Assembly was straightforward. I attached the front wheel, bars, and a few accessories, checked the rotors, indexed the rear derailleur, and inflated the tires to 18 psi for mixed terrain. The battery locks in with a reassuring click. I set the seat post to about mid-travel, fired it up, and the display came to life quickly. On the street, I started in single motor throttle and piece 1-2. Acceleration is smooth but muscular, and I was cruising 20-25 miles per hour without working for it. The fat tires take the sting out of potholes, and the suspension swallows the chatter that normally makes cheaper hardtails feel harsh. The brakes are the safety anchor on this bike. 2 fingers are enough for confident stops, and heat fade didn't show up on my hilly neighborhood descent. When I flipped to dual motor, the character changed. Throttle hits harder, and torque is instant. Torque is the twisting force that gets you moving. Here it's listed at 160 newmeters, and it feels every bit of that. From a dead stop, I had to shift my weight forward to keep the front end composed on loose gravel. On a long, flat stretch, I saw 37 to 38 miles per hour on the display with my GPS app, reading nearly the same. It stays surprisingly stable at those speeds, which I credit to the long wheelbase, tire contact patch, and overall mass. Pedaling is more of a formality once you're above 25 miles per hour, but the 7-speed helps on gentle grades if you want to contribute. Off-road is where this bike makes the most sense. I pointed it up a steep fire road with washboard ruts and babyhead rocks. From my experience, the dual hub setup just tractors up with a steady twist of the throttle. Traction is excellent in loose dirt at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and the suspension, while not boutique, kept me in control. You do feel the unsprung weight of motors in the wheels when you hammer through quick, repeated bumps. That's normal for hub motorbikes and means the suspension can feel a touch less responsive compared to a mid-drive with all the weight in the frame. Still, it's composed and never felt sketchy. On a rocky descent, modulation from the hydraulic brakes made it easy to scrub speed without locking up. The tires telegraph grip well and don't surprise you. Range depends heavily on how you ride. With me at 185 pounds plus a small bag, mixed pass and throttle in single motor mode on rolling suburban roads gave me about 52 miles before I hit the last battery bar. Pushing harder on dual motors off-road, I saw around 32 to 38 miles. Babying it with pass 1 to 2 and single motor on mostly flat bike paths, I stretched a ride to 72 miles with careful throttle discipline. The 52-volt 25-hour pack is 1,300 watt-hours, so those numbers line up with what I'd expect for a heavy, high-power bike. Charging with the included charger was a set-it-and-forget-it overnight routine for me. Practical details matter day to day. The rack is sturdier than I expected, the turn signals are bright, and the headlight is genuinely useful in low light. The phone holder didn't rattle loose and kept my device secure on washboard. The fenders are plastic and can flex a bit, but they keep the rooster tail off your back. The trigger shifter is familiar and clicks cleanly, although I didn't shift much because the throttle does most of the work. Walk assist is handy when you need to push the bike up a short ramp or load it. The dual motor switch is the feature I used constantly. Single motor for range and sanity, dual for hills and fun. A few things to know. It's not subtle, and it's not light. Carrying it upstairs isn't realistic for most people. It can easily exceed typical Class 3 limits, so I treated it as an off-road or private road machine, and I suggest checking your local laws. The suspension is comfortable and capable, but it's not premium. I added a few turns of preload on the fork to prevent diving under hard braking, and that helped. I also retorqued a couple of rack bolts after my first bumpy ride. Nothing dramatic, just smart practice on a powerful bike. From my experience, the power-to-smile ratio is enormous. The dual-motor punch makes steep hills feel flat, and the stability at speed is confidence-building. The hydraulic brakes match the motor output, which is non-negotiable on something this fast and heavy. The battery capacity is real. 1300W gives you freedom to ride hard without range anxiety if you manage modes wisely. The included kit is generous. Lights, turn signals, rack, phone holder, fenders, and that saves you money and time. The single dual-motor toggle is the quiet hero because it lets me tune the bike to the ride instead of wasting energy when I don't need full power. The display is easy to read in sunlight, and the throttle response is predictable, not twitchy. It's perfect for riders who want a powerhouse for mixed terrain, long rural stretches, hunting trails, beach sand, or snowy shortcuts, where traction and torque matter more than nimble, featherweight handling. I'd recommend this for someone who understands they're buying a high-powered e-bike that feels close to a light moto and is okay with the weight, the maintenance attention that comes with big power, and the responsibility that comes with speed. In my opinion, the PUJH 3000W dual motors electric bike for adults is a blast if you use it for the right kind of riding. It's overbuilt for commuting in tight city spaces, but brilliant on open back roads and off-road tracks where you can let it run. The key features that define it: massive dual-hub motors, a 52-volt 25-hour battery, hydraulic brakes, and fat 24-inch tires, work together to deliver effortless climbing, stable high-speed cruising, and real comfort over rough ground. It demands respect, takes up space, and rewards you with grins every time you twist the throttle. If you want a nimble, throw-on-a-shoulder city e-bike, this isn't it. If you want raw torque, big range when managed well, and a solid set of included accessories out of the box, this scratches that itch. I will leave detailed information about the PUJH dual motors electric bike in the comments for your reference. Thank you for watching.